What's up, boys and girls and babes? It's week 9 of the NHL regular season. I moved my parents yesterday. The movers came yesterday. We are done, sort of. It is week 9 of the NHL regular season. Once again, we have a Salty Caps fan video that only has 2 games in it. So we get to go goal by goal. I'm so excited. The coffee has not been great today, but you know I always get more fired up as we go through. So let's do this thing. We got a lot to talk about today, so let's hit it. First of all, the New York Islanders, my longtime enemies. Except, are they still my enemy? Because they no longer have Yaroslav Halak, but what they do have is sweet Grandpa Egg, Grandpa Barry Trotz, who I love. And they took him his ring. I'm fine. I can't talk about that. Let's talk about the actual game. Apparently, Barry Trotz told the New York Islanders how much I like it when goals are in the first minute. Unfortunately, he forgot that I'm a Washington Capitals fan, and I would prefer if the New York Islanders did not score any goals whatsoever. 36 seconds in, Viteri Filppula gets himself a little goal. Yuck. And the Caps are behind the 8 ball to start out with. Guys, we know that you can come back and win games. You proved that point. Can we try something else? But you know what? It's okay. You know why it's okay? It's okay because 2 minutes and 50 seconds into the first period, the hottest man in the National Hockey League, who we will talk more about later, one Mr. Tom Wilson, scores his 5th goal of the season, his 4th goal in as many games. Okay. Number 19, Mr. Nicholas Backstrom is at the Caps defensive blue line, pops the puck up through the neutral zone for number 43 to carry in, and he's got daylight. 5-hole on, what's his face? Grice. The game is tied 1-1, headed into the first intermission. 7 minutes and 58 seconds into the second period, the Isles are on a bad line change that Dmitry Yashkin pushes the D backwards, turns Boychuk, and slips a little drop pass right back to number 26, Mr. Nick Dowd, and he goes top shelf. Caps are up 2-1. Nothing else happens for the rest of the second, or most of the third. 12 minutes into the third period, do New York Islanders do a bad? Tanner Fritz goes off 2 minutes for hooking at 12:04. 30 seconds later, Thomas Hickey goes off 2 minutes for tripping. 5-on-3. When you give the Washington Capitals a 2-man advantage, you generally expect them to score. The Fritz penalty expires without the Washington Capitals scoring a goal. Todd Reardon calls a timeout. After the 5-on-3 expires, the Caps win the draw. Number 19, Nicholas Backstrom, deals to number 20, Mr. Lars Tiger Eller, for a bump to 43 in the low slot, out here looking like TJ Oshie, baby. There you go. And then 1938 into the third period. Alex Ovechkin is determined not to miss that empty net this time. He pulls the puck off the boards, skates all the way in, and puts the capper on a 4-1 win over the New York Islanders. Excellent. What a good Monday night. Moving right along to last night. No, not last night. Yesterday I moved furniture. The night before that I hung pictures. Okay, Friday night. Moving is hard and I'm doing 3 of them. So I'm actually driving. I have 2 boxes in the back of my teeny tiny little Fiat and I'm driving out to the country to my parents' new place. I've got Walton on the radio and I managed to hear the first couple of shifts and I'm like, guys, I feel like you're icing the puck a lot. Can you get your shit together? And then 3 minutes and 51 seconds into the first, Nicholas Backstrom obliges me by scoring the first goal of the game. Thank God the Caps are not behind the 8 ball immediately for once. The Devils are on a bad line change. Ovi grabs the puck in the neutral zone, comes into the offensive zone like a charging bull and pulls Kincaid to the post, centering past Nicholas Backstrom, buries it for his 7. He scored 3 goals in this game. Don't remember. He ended up with 9, so 7. That's the only thing that happened in the first period. Thank God, because I got to my parents' new house and had to carry stuff in. So I didn't miss a lot. When we turn the game on the big television while we're unpacking boxes, it is the first intermission. Caps are up 1-0. Come back for the second period and I'm confused as to why we are on a penalty kill immediately. Turns out Devontae Smith-Pelly went off 2 minutes for interference. I didn't see it. Okay. But 8 seconds into the second period, the hottest man in the NHL right now, which we will come back to, when Mr. Tom Wilson scores a shorthanded goal. 2 shorthanded goals in this game, 1 for each side. Wonderful. Kincaid just comes out of the goal to play the puck towards Butcher and is absolutely lackadaisical, completely casual, getting back into the goal, and Tom Wilson makes him pay. Caps are up 2-0. And then I went to go and hang a mirror. So I missed some stuff. Travis Zajac, who scores himself a little shorthanded goal at 17:39. Tom Wilson got ejected from the game for what I would call interference. You know what? We're going to have to talk about this in a minute. I've got to finish the game first. Anyway, so I didn't see the hit, which I wouldn't even call a hit, in real time. What I saw was every single freaking replay. But we go into the second intermission with the Caps up 2-1 and Tom Wilson no longer playing in this game. The third period has 6 goals in it, so let me just deal with that first. By the way, I think the Caps just came back for the third period just really flippin' pissed off. They were just done. They were like, no, you know what? Fine. We're gonna score 4 goals. 5 minutes and 45 seconds into the third period, Michael Kempny is at the Caps blue line, taps it up to number 65, Andrei Burakovsky, who carries halfway through the neutral zone, splits the New Jersey Devils defense, controls all the way up to Kincaid, and goes between the blocker and the body. Caps are up 3-1. Okay, and then 2 New Jersey Devils did a bad. Miles Wood, wow, I didn't see that, for spearing. Again, I think I was hanging something. Anyway, Miles Wood serves a double minor for spearing. But when I came back, when I managed to poke my head into the family room where the big television lived, I was like, oh, we're on a 5-on-3. Okay, cool. While Sammy Vatanen was serving 2 minutes for hooking. I did not see Miles Wood for spearing. Anyway, Caps are on a 5-on-3, and they are gifted with 90 seconds of zone time. Tired penalty killers. Number 19 pulls the puck off of the boards after a shot, casually gets closer and closer to Kincaid, and just pipe and in. Nicklas Backstrom quietly and casually will destroy you. Within 6 minutes of each other, both Nico Hischier and, of course, Marcus Johansson get themselves some little goals, putting the Devils within 1. By 18:30 into the third, the Devils have pulled Keith Kincaid for the extra attacker. Alex Ovechkin once again is determined not to miss the empty net, strips the puck and just lobs it down the ice. Bam, Caps are up 5-3. Keith Kincaid stays on the bench, and Alexander Ovechkin is determined to get Nicklas Backstrom a hat trick. Caps win 6-3. Nicklas Backstrom with his 3rd hat trick ever, only his 2nd that counts in statistics because one of them was in the playoffs. Now, you may have noticed that I have been somewhat avoiding talking about Tom Wilson for most of the season, which hasn't been hard because he's been suspended for most of the season. And that was supposed to be some kind of wake-up call for him to change his game. Well, guess what? He has. Tom Wilson has 7 goals. He had 12 points in 6 games. The referee saw number 43 of the New Jersey Devils down on the ice, and number 43 of the Washington Capitals was also on the ice, so clearly it must have been a headshot. That's the definition of a reputation call. Brett Seney said that Tom Wilson contacted his shoulder. Okay, are we gonna believe Brett Seney? I think that we should. What happened here was interference, and the league agrees with me. They rescinded the match penalty. Tom Wilson is not sitting for today's game versus the Anaheim Ducks. There you go. That's where I'm at. Today at 3 p.m. we were playing the Anaheim Ducks. I don't really care for the Anaheim Ducks, so I would really like to see 8th win in a row. You know I love a Sunday matinee. Okay, this has been Kate, your Salty Caps fan, and I'll see you next week. Bye!